Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Minimalist Gourmet, where today I'm going to teach you how to make the most delicious roasted red pepper and pork ragu. Let's get started. To get things kicked off, we're going to roast our red bell pepper. This is quite easy, and I'm sure you've seen me do it before. Simply turn your range, gas or electric, onto high and place your pepper directly on top. Just keep rotating your pepper until it's evenly charred on all sides. The pepper will probably hiss and spit a bit, but don't worry, this is exactly what you want to see and hear. If it looks like you've screwed up a bit and cooked it too much, that's perfect. You want to see something just like this. Take it off the heat and put it into a container with a tight-fitting lid or into a plastic bag for 15 minutes. During these 15 minutes, the pepper will continue to steam, releasing the skin from the meat. This will make it quite easy to separate. Simply use a paper towel, the back of a knife, or your hand to gently scrape off the skin. Whatever you do, do not run this under water. You're going to wash away a bit of the flavor that we just developed. Continue by cutting off the stem and opening up the pepper. Then scrape out any of the seeds inside, as well as removing any membranes that are remaining. And just like the exterior, you do not want to run the interior under water. You'll wash away some of that flavor. Once you have the interior prepared, simply cut into strips and set aside as we move along. You can use either white or yellow onions. I chose to use one medium white onion and cut it into strips. They don't have to look very pretty, just be consistent with size so everything is done at the same time. Of course, we'll be using garlic. Here I have 3 large cloves. Just like the onion, you need to cut them so they are consistently sized, however, they don't need to be minced nor look pretty. You'll see why later. With all of our vegetables cut and ready to go, let's begin cooking. Place a few tablespoons of olive oil into a pan over medium heat and put the onion in to begin sauteing. Use your spatula to break up the pieces of onion as well as you can. This will help everything cook evenly. We're only cooking the onion at this point, so we can cook it to the same level of doneness as the roasted red bell pepper is. We need to make sure that everything is the same temperature before we continue on. After a few minutes of cooking, the onions have reached the same level of tenderness as the red bell pepper. This is great. Go ahead and add your bell pepper and the garlic to the pot and continue to cook over medium heat. As we're cooking our vegetables, we need to season them. I've added salt, as well as a healthy dose of crushed chili flakes and some ground black pepper. Continue cooking on medium heat for about 5 minutes, stirring occasionally. You're looking to have everything be nice and soft. I'm adding a half a cup of tomato puree. If you'd like, you can change this out for 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Whichever tomato product you use, add it to the pot and stir well. You want to cook this over the heat for about 3 to 4 minutes to get that raw tomato flavor out. After your tomato has cooked for about 3 to 4 minutes, it's important that you turn off the heat before adding the cream. With the heat off, begin adding a half a cup of heavy cream. You'll do this slowly in stages. Begin by pouring in just a little bit, mix it thoroughly, and allow it to integrate fully before adding more. If you try to rush this, it could separate a little bit, and that's not good. As long as you take your time here and continue to mix well, you shouldn't have any problems nor any separation. Your sauce should look like this at this point. The next step is to blend all of this amazing sauce that we've made. This is why I was saying it's not really important that you cut the onions and the peppers and the garlic perfectly, because everything will be mixed up here in the end. Pour all of the sauce into a blender and blend until smooth. You can also choose to use an immersion stick blender in the pot if you have one. I'm going to stop the video here for just a moment, guys. If you want to make this sauce vegetarian, you can stop right now and use this sauce as is. Trust me, it is fantastic and absolutely delicious. You can put it over pasta, fish, roasted vegetables, or heck, even on some toasted garlic bread. However, if you want to make it into a ragu, let's continue on. Traditionally, you would use only ground pork in a recipe like this. I really like the taste of both beef and pork mixed together. That's why I'm using 10 ounces of ground beef and 6 ounces of ground pork in the form of chorizo. You can use all beef, all pork, or a mixture as I'm doing. While cooking over medium-high heat, really get in there with your spatula and break this meat down. You're looking for quite small pieces. You don't want large chunks. Of course, we're going to add a little bit of salt because we practice seasoning as we go. Continue to cook, breaking down the meat as you go until everything is completely browned and nicely cooked through. Once the meat is completely cooked, we'll need to deglaze. As you can see, this pan has a beautiful fond on the bottom, and we want to take that flavor and put it right back into our dish. Traditional recipes would actually use vodka to deglaze the pan at this point. I'm not really a big fan of that flavor combination, but feel free to use it if you so desire. If you'd like, you can also use something like white wine, chicken stock, heck, you can even use water to deglaze. All you need to do is pour the liquid of choice over the fond and allow the heat to break it up as you scrape with your spatula. This will integrate all that beautiful flavor back into the dish and keep it from sticking to the pot. It also makes it easier to wash later. Once your pot is completely deglazed and that liquid is boiled off, reduce the heat down to medium and pour the sauce from the blender over the meat. Add about 1/3 cup water to the blender in order to not only rinse out all of the sauce that's stuck to it, but also to thin it out a little bit because we're going to cook the sauce and meat mixture for just a couple more minutes and you don't want the sauce to become too thick. Finish cooking for about 5 to 10 minutes on medium heat. This will give the sauce a chance to thicken up slightly as well as all those flavors an opportunity to meld and come together nicely. Your sauce is now ready to be enjoyed and enjoy it you will. This delectable and versatile sauce works fantastically over gnocchi, your favorite pasta, potatoes, roasted vegetables, or as a filling in lasagna. It can even be used as a great dip for some garlic bread. However you choose to consume it, it is sure to be a crowd pleaser. And it's just that easy, guys, to make this delicious sauce at home tonight. Thank you so much for watching and come back again very soon for another Minimalist Gourmet.